Okay. There we go. Add that to the mix. That's really satisfying. Of course, we immediately end up burning almost all of that power, but that's okay. Those generators are punchy. Let's just let them go. Doesn't look like we've got any other secrets, probably. I like the fact that the secrets are less secret and more just kind of puzzly. Not a lot of games have that as kind of a cool claim to fame. It's like, I guess easy way of describing this. I don't know how many people played Hyper Light Drifter. Hyper Light Drifter was rad. But it had a serious problem with like its secrets just being obtuse as opposed to interesting. I always found that to be a bit of a bother because it was like it didn't feel like it feels like there's supposed to be something there. I don't think I can get it out of the stairs. Interesting. Not sure. But like it was fun secret hunting in Hyper Light Drifter. But half the time when I was doing it, I was just, like, bashing my face into walls. Hoping that I'd find, like, the next secret kind of hidden out there. And I found a lot of them, but it took a lot longer than it was satisfying. Because, yeah, there was no, like, finesse to it. It's just like, there's might be a secret against this wall somewhere. And I'm not saying that I'm playing this with any amount of finesse either. This is... I'm still pretty bushed from PAX. And I'm not playing my best, but that's normal. Peak Wanderbot is a rare creature indeed. Oh. Okay, there we go. And so in this one, having the secrets be attached to a puzzle, sure, it can be punishing, it can even be hard. Let's see. But it never feels punishing or obtuse, just... well, maybe punishing, yeah. And there's no way I can speak for, like, what this game's gonna be like, you know, an hour or two in. Come with me. Come with me, Battle Balls. Got it. Did that do anything? Oh, I see it. Just got that. Cool. Secret path revealed. Dual blades. Fast and incredibly accurate, as if the wielder can see where the ball will go. Oh. Oh, but we do... We lose the self-healing potential in favor of accuracy. Oh, I love that. That's really cool. I will say, I like how the game does not punish you for failure. Much anyway. If anything, it rewards you for it. Because you can get more power from the rooms that you've already been through. Okay. Now, I'm in full agreement. Hopefully we have more of a use for a lot of the, spare power as we go along, but it does seem like, it's got limited uses, and that's okay. So we get a lockdown banner. Let's see. Botsy engineers responsible for the security and secrecy of the Hollow Mountain project. And also an old core. Kinda hoping we find more lore in these rooms, but doesn't look like it. There's like a journal. There's like some computer stuff, but meh. See, have we figured out how the map nodes work? Sort of, yeah. So if we go to the map, if it's a circle, it's just a room. If it's got a star in it, it's complete. If it's got a dot, like if it's got dots around it, then it's incomplete. So if I left this room, if you notice... Okay, I guess the dots are on the inside, but the dots are inside means it's incomplete. So by going back in here, I can complete the room. I'm noticing a couple of these... Ow. Okay. There we kind of go. It's kind of fun watching them just bounce around like that. Wow, this one's worth a heck of a lot more than I thought it was going to be. But yeah, there are a number of repeat rooms, but I've noticed the puzzle changes slightly every time. Let's see. Nah, there's nothing to do in here. So in that one's case, the there was like an extra wall to block it all off, which I thought was kind of neat. Yeah, so we've done this room again. I do miss my healing bat, but at the same time, being able to aim is kind of... maybe it's not as amazing as I think it is. Check the side route here. Side route is good route. And yeah, one of the things that the developers specifically said was they were inspired by the equipment system from the old Zelda games. I think it was the old Zelda games where everything is a side grade. They didn't want it to be like Dark Souls where everything... was it Dark Souls? No, I forget. They didn't want it to be like a loot grinder game. Where you're just constantly, getting slight, like, minor upgrades to what you've already got. Because that's less fun. And I personally really agree with that philosophy. I've played too many games where it's just like, you have picked up a gun. The people in this town stopped believing this machine would work centuries ago. They believe in me now because I am here. Where have you been the last few hundred years when they needed you? I am their savior now. I will not let you jeopardize that. Okay, battle room round 2. Okay. But yeah, I prefer games where everything is just an infinite amount of side grades, because that gives you options. I've never really liked Borderlands, where, like, you have options, but it's all locked into kind of the rarity of your gear. Because that feels unsatisfying. I'd much rather have, like, 5 guns in a game, and they all do something interesting, than a billion guns, and they all do the same thing. Where am I even supposed to be aiming? Oh, in here. Okay. Music's pretty good, though. I do wish it had a little bit more of a hype soundtrack for this specific thing. But it certainly sounds cool, so I give it most of a pass. If there's a specifically, like, a scatterbat or something. Okay, we gotta switch back to this. Really rough. Okay. There we go. Creature withdraws. Okay. Gets a little stressful from time to time. Log entry 415, Philip Frog, project lead. I've asked the engineers to log their encounters with the creature in the darkness, and the data coming back is hundreds of pages of conversation. They're talking to it. There just isn't time to read all of this and finish the work that remains. This console was smashed by the creature. I've managed to get it working again, but the screen and input are all useless now. Log entry 331, Philip Frog, project lead. There are eyes in the darkness that are watching me as I work. I've been watching the engineers too. We lose bots, and when I finally find their broken bodies, I also see those eyes in the shadows. Log entry 380, Philip Frog, project lead. I'm changing the function of this facility to focus on security and renaming it to Lockdown. There's a creature in this mountain, something we didn't expect to encounter when we started building. We need to start planning a backup protocol in case something happens. Lockdown systems. A series of hastily thrown switches have disconnected power from the machine's protocols. Dry blood covers the console. Flipping the switches looks like it'll restart the system, but they're behind a password-protected panel. A blinking cursor on the screen prompts an automatic memory for the password you didn't realize you knew. Enter password, Roger Frog.
You're the first person I've told that story to. It's a sad story. I don't like thinking about it.
Okay. Same deal. Let's go out and upgrade my stuff. See if anything new in the town has changed. This looks different. Nope, nothing. Twig. A branch from some random bush. Can be used as a charge weapon, though it has no power limiter. Really? Uh-oh. Okay, so there's some collision problems there. What's this over here? Anything interesting? Nope, just some shadows. Love the fact that I'm just finding random charge weapons. Not finding a whole lot of strike tools, though, or capes. Oh, let's go up to level 4. Get that creature for me. Still don't have anything in here. Or elsewhere. It doesn't look like there's anything else I can do with this. And yeah, nobody else cares. How long this is. It seems like we might be able to beat this in one sitting. If that's the case, I'm going to be very happy. Like, I know a lot of people are like, I like really long games, but like, good lord, I've been playing too many long games lately and it's driving me a bit nuts. Can I have your broom? I hope so. So I guess next order of business, head for the archives. Because I believe we've finished security. At least to satisfaction. Okay, so the stick is hilarious and bad. Because the thing is, the stick makes it so it does, like, boatloads of bonus damage. But boatloads of bonus damage. Downside is ow. There we go, got it. Die just on this room again. Got it. Okay. Oh. I never got that before. Had I not? Really? Guess not. Okay, well this is gonna go bad. Yeah, archives are hurty. I mean, on the plus side, like, I can redo as many of these things as I want. And never have any downsides for that. How's this room again? Okay, so there's some repetition here. I'm fine with it. It's a side power room. We're not done yet. If that means I've missed anything else. Okay, this is an odd pinball style to it. It's very intentional. I'd asked them about it, and they're like, yeah, why not? I don't know, it's a cool thing. I mean, how many other games use pinball as like a really solid battle style? Not many. And the ones that do usually don't do it very well. The only game I can think of that does it remotely interestingly is Roku's Island Express. And that's about it. That wasn't very hard. Archives banner. Engineers who gathered data and kept it for future generations to build upon. Another old core. No new weapons, but that's okay. But yeah, I think, or not Roku? Yoku's Island Express? I don't remember. There was a weird, like, sort of Metroidvania with pinball elements to it that came out a while back. Let's see. Not sure. Yeah, those do actually have a little bit to be gained from them. But that's okay. The other cool thing about this game is I think it's on, like, every platform? It's on a ridiculous number of platforms. I know it's on PC and Switch at the very least. I'm playing it on my Switch right now. And no new weapon yet? Not as far as primary weapons go. I haven't been the most thorough, because it seems like half of them are just shit that I pick up off the ground. Ow. Damn. That was rad, but also hard. Okay.
You're trying to bring back back to the Mirage and its people. You will not succeed. What could one of you accomplish where hundreds have failed? I will dispose of you later.
Okay. Let's go upgrade my core again. I think upgrading my core increases my maximum health, but not by much. Either that or it could increase my damage. Not really sure. Let's see, Robot Batter would make an interesting D&D villain. It would be. I'm realizing I need to prevent myself from being influenced too hard by, like, the games I played. Because that's what my dad used to do when we played Dungeons & Dragons together. He would get really inspired by the video games I was playing and then make these, like, really cheesy as shit campaigns. Which was cute, but also, like... After the 5th session of like a Chameleon Twist inspired D&D campaign, you kind of lose the script a little. My dad sounds awesome. He is awesome, but as a kid, I definitely was like, this is stupid. And even now, I stand by, like, I still stand by the fact that, like, it was a little goofy. I think the main problem is just the fact that we were fighting, like, sentient popcorn and stuff. Which is a little dumb. Because for me, I always wanted my D&D campaigns to be like, you know, Lord of the Ringsy, serious. My dad was like maximum dad humor the whole way through. Oh, shoot. Did you eat them afterwards? Honestly, I just got frustrated because I didn't want there to be sentient popcorn. I don't know how many of you guys have played Chameleon Twist 2. Probably not too many, as it is a fairly niche title. I don't think there's anything else to even do in that room. Okay, so that kind of hurt. I feel like this game needs a button where you just press and hold it and your character stands in place and aims. That'd probably help a lot. Hello, focus hammer. Attack can be held down to provide focus. So it's slower, but that could be kind of cool. But yeah, anyway, so Chameleon Twist 2 had like a circus level. And all the enemies were like food-themed or clowns or something like that. The idea of it worked for a video game, but as like a D&D game, when I was, you know, a kid wanting to like do... Oh, that'll be nice for aiming. Let's see. But yeah, wanting like serious fantasy adventures and whatnot. Sentient popcorn was kind of bleh. Oh. Which I recognize like is a bit of a shame. Because yeah, after a certain point we actually stopped playing D&D as a family. It was usually my brother and my brother's friends and I. Sometimes it was my friends too, but my friends were always less about D&D, which kind of sucked a little bit. Like, it wasn't until I became a professional YouTuber that I actually found my own friends to play Dungeons and Dragons with consistently. Nobody was interested from, like, my own friend groups, except for, like, one kid. Oh my god, this is going to be a problem. I had one friend when I lived in North Carolina that was super down with D&D, mainly because his parents wouldn't let him play video games. And when I tried playing video games with him,
Why do you persist? Do you think I'm not watching? You are forcing my hand. You are a lost scrap of rust who's out of their depth. Turn around, or I will stop you.
This game's art style. Blending of the dungeon plus computer parts are awesome. I know, right? Like, there's a lot to be said about a game with a really striking art style. Let's see. Oh, right, we're back to the fan. And, like, so many games fail at this. So many games have just, like, absolutely boring as sin art styles that, like, don't do anything for the game design as a whole. It's just there to, like, be... It's like, realism. Yeah, but what? Does it need to be realism? No. Then maybe you should consider, like, an art style that is, like, truly unique and, like, striking and whatnot. Because I can guarantee... I can guarantee a game with a really striking art style is going to do 1,000 times better. Let's see, where's the next one? Oh. 12 seconds. Being able to slow-mo aim here is amazing. I love this club. Like, what's a good example of a game that was kind of just disappointing because its art style wasn't cool in the slightest? Ow. Ow. There we go. Ashen. Art was nice, but it was so gray. I liked Ashen. It was muted and it matched... I mean, it literally matches the title. That game I can actually forgive its art style pretty hard on. What's another... What's one where the art style didn't help that much? I mean, I have a bone to pick with real... Actually, you know what? Very similar title. Remnant from the Ashes art style only worked in the forest zone. The rest of it, kind of an ugly game. Like, the creature designs were cool, but the people and the environments, up until the very end, were just bad. There's a photo on screen with a caption. The kids in town have built a field where they play stickball. They've been watching the Botsy engineers swinging around the tools Danielle made for them, and turned it into a yard game. Wait, Danielle's still alive? Huh. Archived history file. I think I found a way to create a renewable power source strong enough to use for the North Star. If I can harness it into a portable core, we can build a line of robotic engineers that can run the machine. The working title for the power source is currently Bounded Orb Transfer Cores. So you don't like realism that much. Understandable. I do and I don't. Easy example of a game with a decent amount of realism that I really, really liked. Actually, there's two of them. Specifically, Horizon Zero Dawn and God of War. Both have absolutely amazing visual styles, but err on the side of realism until you get the, like, more fantastic elements mixed in. But because they look so nice and so colorful and lifelike, it's not bad. The problem is realism just is always kind of stuck in the weird butt crack of Uncanny Valley, and most of the time can't escape. So it's only the odd game that actually really does that stands out. Archived history file. The market on the main street was full of new seasonal stalls this weekend. Merchants from beyond the sea came to town and brought exotic fish to sell to the locals. Archived history file. The road leading out of town goes back into the desert. I think it connects to one of the maintenance entrances for the machine somewhere out in the dunes. Archives. Dozens of old data cartridges are covered in sand and rust. Connections to the terminals are corroded, but some appear in working condition. Much of the research data stored here is gone forever. There's a single empty slot and a stray cartridge on the desk. You love Zero Dawn, hoping for more from that series. I'm assuming we're probably going to get the next Horizon Zero Dawn game. Maybe not as a launch title for the PS5, but I bet when the PS5 is set up for pre-order, they'll probably mention it. Same thing with God of War, maybe. If Sony is smart and they planned ahead, they probably try and bring out all of the stops to just go, like, bananas. For, Whee! But yeah, pull out all the stops and go bananas for the PS5, because that'd be smart. This is crazy. I've heard the Botsy engineers were powerful, but this is amazing to see you in action. Thanks for clearing the way to those control rooms. The archived logs in there contain answers to so many unanswered questions. I've also I've been following you. Hope that's okay. Never thought I'd see this happen. If we can get to the end of the weather control monolith, we should be able to turn the whole thing on. Weather system control is the final gauntlet. I never thought I'd see this happen. So we still... Okay, so we're on to... Oh. So those were the support monoliths, and now we can maybe turn them on, or... Oh. Oh boy. This game's a little longer than I thought it was going to be. Well... I guess let's go down the list. Power grid.